Good morning. I always feel awkward when this is starting, like, because it takes a little while. You'll see this little turning thing, like it's just loading when I press to go live, and I'm just sitting here like it's so awkward. But good morning, good morning. You're on here bright and early. I see. Hello, how are you doing? And I'm going to ask that. That is the thing that you are going to get every time I sign on, every Wednesday, every time we meet. How are you doing? I want to know. I'm checking in with you guys. This is the midweek check-in. All right. So how are you guys doing? Put it in the comments. Let me know if you're working on something. Let me know what it is that you're working on. How's it going? How you feeling? Let's get to it. Um, It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. And I always say this. We're at the middle of the week. And y'all, I have my husband and I, so our oldest, we've got our oldest two kids, 3 and 5. And both of their birthdays are this week. So they're back to back. So one is on the 8th and then one is on the 9th. So we had a big plan. Good morning, Evie. Hey. We had a big plan for them, right? We were like, oh, we're going to take them to Disney World. That's what we're going to do. So we didn't tell them that we were taking them to Disney World. We decided it amongst ourselves, right? So all they know is that they're going somewhere. They have no idea where they're going. So they're like super excited. But yesterday, I found out something. So don't get me wrong, right? Let me tell you the backstory. I have looked up these tickets before, right? A couple months ago, I looked up the tickets and I was like, wow, these things are expensive. Okay. I didn't know they were so expensive, but I checked on them and I was like, okay, cool. I just wanted to make a mental note of what it was. So then I could sit there and be like, okay, this is what we need, and just kind of plan the trip accordingly, right? That I'm that type of planner. I don't like, hey, good morning. Good morning. Yes, yes. It's gonna be a blessed day. That's what it's gonna be. So that's the type of planner I am. I like to know the numbers before we, like buy everything. I want to make sure that things are gonna connect. So if we gotta get flights, we have to do this, we have to lock down a place to stay. I want to gather all the numbers first. And then we start booking things, right? So we have the place, honey. We looked at the we thought we were going to fly. That's 4 of us. And we looked at the tickets, and those things were pretty pricey. I was like, what, to get to Florida? Oh my gosh. So yeah, it was going to be like it was almost $600 a person. A person. So times that by 4 times 2. I mean, come on now. Yeah, no, that absolutely was not going to happen. So we're taking a road trip. We are renting a van and we are taking a road trip down there, and it's going to be so much fun, right? So I locked down the van, I locked down the place, and I was like, cool, cool. And my parents are military, so we were going to get the tickets on base. So we had everything covered. And something just hit me last night, which is like, let me go back on there just to see if there's something else that we need to do. Because I'm not familiar with Disney. Like I've never, we haven't gone with our kids. And I think the last time I went, honey, I don't know. Maybe was I 2, 3? I don't know. So I don't know the process. So I get on there and I'm like, I'm just looking through. I'm like, I ain't never last time I looked, I didn't see this before. And what's this about? So apparently you have to book, you have to reserve the actual spot. It might be because of COVID, but you have to reserve the actual park. And I'm like, get out of here. Get out of here. Like, how did I not see that? How was that not like known? on their like website when you first get on there. And I was like, I went to the tickets, like I almost purchased a ticket, and nothing said anything about reserving it. And so, good morning. And so I, I'm sitting there like I'm sweating, right? I'm like, oh Lord, oh my gosh, we got everything booked. We done told the kids that they're going, right? We can't just not go. I mean, we didn't tell them about Disney World, but they know that they're going on a trip. And come to find out, there are no available parks for the entire week that we're going to be down there. It's like the day before we get down there, and then the day after we get down there. And I'm like, ain't that something? Ain't that? Dang. So I started to get upset. I was just like, well, like what? We're literally leaving on Sunday, like Sunday morning. How did this happen? And why is this happening? So my mind starts going down that road. And then I'm like, you know what? It is what it is. Obviously, if nothing is open and I didn't see this and I wasn't aware of it, it wasn't supposed to happen, right? And if it is supposed to happen, something's going to open up. But it's cool because we're still going to make the most of it. And that was almost the immediate response. Like at first, I was getting blown, right? I was like, this stinks. But then it popped up of just, no, it's okay. We still gonna rock it. We still gonna have fun. It is what it is. We're gonna take it. We're gonna find something else to do down there if it doesn't work out, and we just gonna get it done. And so I wanted to mention this because I know that things may be happening in your life that it's not going according to plan. We got things that we done planned out. We said we're gonna do this. Y'all know we got I just spoke somewhere yesterday, last night, right? And we were talking about how it's quarter 2, right? And how we have all these big goals and everything starting in January. And sometime, somewhere between February and March, we kind of just like, look like it's about to happen. So shoot, I don't know what to do about that. And we start loosening our grip on our goals. So I'm just here, like, if it's not looking the way that you have planned, if things are getting a little bumpy, you're facing obstacles, you're facing trials, there are things that are coming, and you're just like, oh, why is this happening to me? Like, why can't this just, I'm looking at everybody else and things are just going by smooth. They're doing the things that they said they were going to do. And here I am. And I feel like I'm hitting bumps every 5 seconds. Like, what's going on? If that is you, understand, honey, it is happening for you, not to you. So whatever you're facing, it's okay. It is okay. What we going to do? We still going to have fun anyway. We still going to rock it out anyway. It don't matter what comes. We still going to handle it. It's still going to be great. What you are facing, you've got to understand is only temporary. Right? So when we face those trials, when we face those obstacles, when things aren't looking the way that we planned out, it's okay. That is not a determining factor of what you can and still will accomplish. But sometimes we fall into that and we start believing our situation more than we believe God. I mean, it just is what it is. So our situation is telling us something and it's not looking right. So we are now putting our faith in that and saying, well, if this is what it's looking like, then that must be true. And what do we always talk about? Nothing is true unless you say it, unless you accept it to be that, unless you accept it to be fact. So be very mindful and be very, very careful of what you are accepting and saying, okay, yep, that's fact. That's right. That's cool. That's cool with me. So if your situation or your life right now, or you heading towards your goals is not quite looking as you planned and things aren't happening the way that you want it to happen, then step back and don't fall for the okie doke, right? Don't fall for the fact that, okay, things aren't looking good, so things aren't going to be good. Nope. We're going to step back and we're going to say, okay, right now it's looking a little weird, but that's okay. Things happen. There are ebbs and flows of life. And again, it's all in how you handle those. So we know that sometimes we can be up, sometimes we can be down, sometimes we can be in middle ground where we're just chilling. And that's cool. Things are going to come up. So prepare yourself for things that come up and understand and catch yourself. When you start, sinking down, you're just like, ah, man, this stinks. Ah, why is this happening? Understand that these things are going to come. But when they come, catch yourself. I'm like, oh, no, it's happening for me, not to me. It's okay. Things are it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. It's going to work out. This is for today. It could be gone tomorrow. It could be gone in a couple minutes. It's all right. It's okay. This too shall pass, right? That just came in my head. So I wanted to share that with y'all. But before we really get deep into this, we got to pray. So let's do this, right? Dear Lord, thank you for everything that you've done for us. Thank you for allowing us to just wake up this morning and just to have breath in our lungs and blood flowing through our bodies. Thank you for allowing our family members to wake up, our friends to wake up. Thank you for the jobs that we are heading to or heading back from. Thank you for the fact that we have time with our kids, we have time with our spouse, we have time to ourselves. Whew, sometimes we take that for granted, Lord, but I thank you for the quietness. I thank you for the stillness that we are able to take advantage of. And I ask that in those moments that we are taking to be still and to be quiet, I ask that you reach and touch every single person that is on this call, whether it's live or on the replay. And you just let them know that, honey, I am here. I have not left you. You remain connected. You are always connected, even if we've fallen off in some way, shape, or form. Make them understand that you are always there. They are always connected. All they have to do is just flip the switch and turn it right back on, and we can pick up where we left off. So, Laura, I just appreciate you being here. I appreciate you for everything that you do. I thank you for your grace, your mercy, your love. I don't know where we would be without it. I don't know where I would be without it. And I just thank you for just everything that you've done for us and continue to do for us, Lord. It's so big, it's so amazing. And we have so much to be grateful for. I know sometimes it seems that things, just like I was talking about, things aren't going the way that we planned, or our bank account is funny, or our kids acting up, or a spouse is doing whatever. Things can go wrong, or in our eyes are going wrong. But I just thank you that you have everything covered. You are working out everything for our good, no matter how it may be perceived in our viewpoint, in our eyes. You have it all worked out, and you're arranging everything the way that it should be in order to best serve us and better and in order for it to best serve your purpose and your will. So as I always say, your will be done. We are here to be servants for you. We are here to be vessels. That is what I am. This is what everyone is on this call, Lord, and that we are making ourselves available. This is why we are here. We are on a journey to becoming our highest and best selves, Lord. So I just ask you to just open us up. Open up our minds, open up our hearts, open up our ears, whatever it needs to be, whatever needs to be opened, whatever needs to be revealed. I ask that you reveal during this call for anyone, including me. Lord, I am here to learn. So move me out the way, less of me and more of you. And I just appreciate you. Thank you. Amen. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Okay, so I told you guys that I spoke last night, right? And the thing is that before 5 o'clock, like I was supposed to speak at 7. At 5 o'clock, I didn't know what I was going to talk about. I didn't know what I was going to talk about. I was like, look, the day I thought that I was going to have a little bit more time to kind of, I don't know, I thought things were going to come to me throughout the day, and it didn't. So, but it was really loud. It was really noisy. My 9-month-old was really, you're welcome. My 9-month-old, I don't know what's been going on. Like, I have no idea. She's just been fussy. Like she's just been fussy. Like one minute she's kissing me and hugging me, and she's playing and she's so happy, and then the next minute she's just going off. It's like it's no in between at all. So yesterday she was in between those. Like you should have saw. It was just like up and down, up and down, and I was like, "Whoa, you are like." What is going on? Like, what is wrong? You've been changed, you've been fed, like, what's happening? So, we were having that type of day yesterday. And so, it was very loud. Um, and it was just a lot of stuff going on. And I couldn't hear anything. And I'm sitting here like, oh, it's 5. It's 5. It's only 2 hours before I speak. And I've got to get ready. And I don't know I don't know what I'm going to talk about. And so I started to feel just like a little bit of anxiety that was creeping up. And I reminded myself, oh, no, 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 no. No, I see you, but you cannot live here. You got to go. You got to go. So what I ended up doing was, I don't know what, I dropped my 9-month-old. Like, look, we live, if y'all don't know, most of y'all do know, we live right next door to my parents. So I call my parents and be like, look, can she come over there while I speak? Because she is cutting up right now. And I can't have her. I can't have her where I'm like, yeah, sorry, you guys. You know, it's very distracting. So they were like, of course, she can come over. So I dropped her off over there. And then while I was leaving, I was just drawn to being outside, right? And I was like, okay, I kind of want to take a walk. But I told you guys, by this time, it was already like, I don't know, it was close to 5:30. I think it was like 5:20-ish. And so my time is ticking. And I'm like, but I still need to get ready. And I still need to figure out what it is that I'm going to say. Like, I don't know. And so I went with it. I went with my gut, right? And I went out and I just started walking. And during the walk, right, I'm just enjoying nature and I'm just breathing in the air and I'm just feeling so grateful. And I'm just like, wow, this feels so good. You know, I'm just having fun. And while I'm walking, and I just end up asking, because that was the one thing that I heard when I was about to leave. And I was contemplating whether, you know, I'm like, I want to go, but the time is ticking. Like, and I'm like, I heard, I got this. So I ended up going for a walk. And while I'm there, you know, like I said, I'm breathing in nature, I'm having fun. And all of a sudden, I just was getting stuff. So I turned on my phone and I started recording. And I'm just talking, right? And just things are coming to me. And I got 5 points to talk about during that time. And 5 points and then points under those points. So I was given like everything that I needed. And it really highlighted the fact that you've got to find enjoyment in what you're doing. Like that is the time that you receive. That's when you are open for creativity. That's where your mind is free. It's not happening like when you are at your computer and you are pounding your desk and you're trying to force things to happen. Rarely do you get something. The most you get usually is frustration, because it just don't be happening sometimes. Like I know that for writing, for me, I would sit there and be like, okay, I said I was going to write this, so I'm going to sit at my computer until I finish. And I would get so frustrated. It made me start not liking or disliking writing. Because of that, I would get so frustrated because that block would always happen when I'm sitting down. I'm just like, come on, just write it. Like, why is it not flowing? It's not flowing because I'm pushing. So once you step out of that do something that is fun for you or that you enjoy. Like last night, I talked briefly about this, about how this came to me and how this happened. And people were saying that they get things while they are walking or while they're riding their bike or running or doing different things that they enjoy that has nothing to do. There are people that get things when they're gardening, when they're playing with their kids, that has absolutely nothing to do with their actual work, so you think. But your actual work, or that you're thinking it should have something to do with it, but yet you are receiving things that are pertinent and directly applicable to your work. And so I want us to be able to start merging those two things together. There, it should be fun. It should be enjoyable. And this is one of the things that I've been told throughout these past 2 weeks, is just enjoying, like prioritizing enjoyment, prioritizing fun, because that is one thing that I have not done. I have not done it, honey. When I was told to do that 2 weeks ago, I was like, okay, that's what I'm gonna do. But then when I actually tried to put that in motion, I realized that I had forgotten what I actually enjoyed. I spent so much time trying to please other people that I forgot what pleased myself. I don't want y'all to do that. I don't want y'all to do that. And if you are in that moment, and if you are in that space, then honey, look, we're gonna get you out of it. We are going to go back to what brings your heart joy, what puts a smile on your face, what makes you feel unstoppable, what makes you feel like you can conquer anything. We got to go back to that place, because I need you in that space for what God is calling you to do. And these are big things that you are called to do, honey. They're big. They're big. What do they say? You get too big for your britches. Your goals and what it is that you are called to do, and they're a little bit too big for what you got right now, because we are operating in a space that we're sometimes taking things on our own shoulders and saying, okay, I'm going to shoulder it and I'm going to make it happen. Honey, let it go. Let loose. Let loose the grip. Let loose a little bit, and realize that you are not in this thing alone. It is too big for you, but honey, it's not too big for both of us, right? It's not, you are not in this alone. It's not too big for me and God. No, 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 no. With him, I can do all things. It doesn't say just a little bit. And so when I was walking, and so I got the points and everything for what I was talking about yesterday, last night. And then it just hit me. I was like, oh, wait, I won't finish this until late last night. So I won't, we're talking like it was yesterday. Okay. So I was sitting there thinking, I'm like, I'm not going to finish until um later, at night. And I'm like, oh shucks, tomorrow is Wednesday. And I'm supposed to be talking on Wednesday morning too. So I don't know what I'm going to talk about then. And so I'm sitting there going through, and I'm still recording, right? I'm just recording. I'm like, oh Lord, what should I be talking about on Wednesday then? And so I was going through the lessons that I've learned, right? And I've got 3 distinct lessons that I've learned. And so I was like, well, which one should I talk about? And I'm like, which one? And I'm going back and forth. And then all of a sudden, something just dropped in my spirit. And this is why that's why I had the title, By Your Faith You Are Healed. And I'm like, what? That had nothing to do with those 3 lessons that I was talking about, that I was going to talk about, or that I was trying to decide what I was going to talk about. And I was like, okay, by your faith, you are healed. Okay. And what I was told is that, look, kind of told me that some of y'all, somebody on here, somebody that is going to either on here live or you're going to watch it on the replay, somebody watching has forgotten how powerful they are. He said they need to be reminded. We got to restore the power. And look, I am here to tell you. So I was like, okay, cool. By your faith, you are healed. And we've got to bring it back to understanding how powerful we are. Just like I started, it doesn't matter what it looks like. It doesn't matter what you are going through. It doesn't matter your current circumstance or situation. Things are going up, down, all around. It doesn't matter what you have said that you are going to accomplish, what you feel in your heart that is going to be accomplished, what has been confirmed for you, honey, it is there. It is readily available to you. There is nothing that is blocking you but you. And that's something that I talked about yesterday too. I'm telling you, anything is possible. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Anything is possible for you. And I really want that to sink in for you guys. And one of the things, so I'm gonna tell a little story, right? Because I'm gonna remind you of how powerful you are, of how powerful you are. So I know some of you guys know that my oldest daughter, she is, and well, actually, my son too. My son and my daughter. So my oldest two are asking for another child. So I made a video about this saying that they have been asking for specifically a boy baby. And I told y'all I have a 9-month-old, right? And what she's doing, what we're going through. She's 9 months. We're on the brink of 12 months and we're still going through it. So last thing on my mind is having another kid. Like, it's just not yet, it's too soon. That's exactly what I say to them. It's too soon. It's too soon. Let mama breathe. Mama breathe. And I just kind of shut it down every time that they talk about it. I'm just like, look, no, absolutely not. And that's what I've been doing. And so my daughter's rebuttal was like, okay, well, you may not think that you're going to have one, but I'm telling you right now, I'm going to pray for it. And you're going to be surprised. And I'm like, you know what? You are not supposed to use prayer that way. But she stood firm to what it is that she believed. She stood firm and she's saying, this is what's going to happen. Like, I don't care. Okay, my situation may be looking like this, but I am standing firm to what I'm saying and what I'm believing and what I'm asking for. And I know that when I ask, I receive, honey. I receive it. And it's really true because she asked for a sister. Like, my husband and I were wanting a boy, right? And we were like, no, it's going to be a boy. Like, I want it to be a boy. I want it to be a boy. And she's like, no, actually, it's going to be a girl. Like, I've been praying for a girl. And I'm like, okay, you've been praying for a girl, but that doesn't mean it's going to be a girl. She's like, no, it is. It's going to be a girl. And honey, it was a girl. It was a girl. It was all girl. And I'm like, okay, chill. So the other day, we were downstairs and we do a Bible story, kind of like a Bible study with our kids every morning. So we were downstairs and they had watched so they use this thing called Superbook. I don't know if you have kids, maybe you know about it, but we watched that and then we asked them questions about it at the end. We talk about what they learned and how we can apply it to real life and all that good stuff. So we had watched the Good Samaritan. And so after, my oldest daughter was like, oh, I want to give something to somebody today. Like, I really want to give someone food that needs it. I want to do that. I want to do that today. So my husband and I, mind you, it's like 10 o'clock in the morning. So my husband and I are looking at each other and we're like, how we going? You think we could do that today? Like, where do we go? Where would we go to just find somebody? Like, what are we gonna do? And so we're like, I don't know. And we kind of left it there of like, okay, it's probably not gonna happen today, but we'll make sure that we do this and we incorporate that and we actually make that happen. And but she was firm about, today, I want to do it today. And so just later on that day, in the afternoon, my husband was just like, okay, I've got to go pick up kids. He has an after school program, so he had to do his runs. And he just said, look, I'm going to take the kids with me. And so they can chill with me. They can go with me because his pickups, he didn't have to pick up as many people that day. And so he just took them. And he was like, look, we're going to go to Chick-fil-A. All right, so you don't have to worry about lunch. I got you covered. So I'm like, yes. Okay, go ahead and take them. So he takes them. And guess what happened? They pull up to Chick-fil-A. Now, I want to tell you this. I have never gone to Chick-fil-A. Like, out of all the time that we've been here, that has been open, that we have ever seen people that are outside of Chick-fil-A that are in need of food. Never. But that day, they roll up on Chick-fil-A and there's a whole family out there. And so what she had asked for happened. And so they got the food, and he recorded the video of her being able, and my son being able to hand the food to the kids and to the mom, and they're just like smiling. They're like, well, it's happening. But it happened. And my husband came back and was like, that actually, like, what she said happened. And I'm like, I know. That is what she's been doing. She's been doing that, and what she wants, she gets. But I want to remind you, you have the same power. You have the same connection. I know it seems, for me, I look at her and it's like, girl, your prayers just go straight through. There is no interception at all. It just goes straight. But the reason why it goes straight is because she's firm in her belief. She's firm in what she's asking for. She's firm in her faith. So when I'm talking about interceptors, there is nobody outside of us that can intercept what we are praying for. There's nobody else that's just sitting there like, okay, oh, I got that. The devil, he ain't got nothing on us. Like, negative forces, they ain't got nothing on us. The only way that they do is if you allow them to. This is something that you have power over. So if it's those negative beliefs that are coming in that are telling that you are not good enough, you are not worthy, you cannot do this, you shouldn't be in this position, you can't do this. Why are you sitting here thinking about that? Why are you even talking about that? You having these big goals. Have you ever hit that? Have you ever done that? All this stuff that comes up that tries to intercept our dreams, our goals, the things that we are praying for, that direct connection that we have, those things try to come, but I want you to see and picture this in your mind. The thing is that we have a direct connection. Look, y'all see this? Y'all, wait. Oh, shoot. I'm moving the wrong camera, Lord. Look, I ain't trying to touch this camera because it's going to be hard to get it back. But you see this, right? It is my computer. It's my computer charger, and it's plugged up to its source, right? It's plugged up to the outlet, and it's getting the continuous charge. So there is a direct connection here, and I want you to know it's the same thing for you. You are the computer, right? And when we sit there and send up our what it is that we're asking for, what it is that we're believing for, when we're sending up our prayers, it goes in this line. And it goes straight to the source, right? But around that, and I want you to be aware of this, around that cord is this invisible like block, right? This invisible thing that cannot be pierced. It just like, have you seen those movies that they'll be looking through like a sheer thing, and it's like you'll see them push their hand, and it's like, whoa, but they can see the other side, but they can't get to the other side. I want you to imagine that is you got blocks on both sides, on like you got a square going around. Like, it is fully protected. It's fully covered. Nothing can penetrate it. So when you're asking and you're believing, it goes straight through this. And no matter what is coming, it cannot be penetrated. It cannot, nobody, they can touch it, they can see it, they can smell it, they can breathe it. It doesn't matter. But when they're sitting there trying to penetrate it, all it does is just bounce back. It's like, dang, I can't get through it. But when we start believing these things, it starts becoming open. It starts becoming porous. So now it's a little opening for them to stick their hands in. And the deeper that they stick their hands in, the more that they can pull it open. Like, I really want you to get this visual right now. The more that they can pull it open and pry it open. And then the deeper you get of where you start continuously believing it, right? And not only are you believing in this one thought, then it's another thought that, yeah, I'm not enough. Oh man, I don't deserve this position. Oh my gosh, I don't. I shouldn't be here. Oh no. This is the only way that your protection is penetrated, by you. You are the only person that can allow that stuff in. So I want you to know that you've got that direct connection. There is nothing. You are always plugged up. Even when you feel like you are not plugged up, you are plugged up. And one of the things that that popped in my mind while I was walking was, and one of the things that I had said when I was dictating, right, was restore the power. So reminding you guys of the power that you are already plugged up to. So even when, let's say I'm continuously plugged up to this, right? And if our electricity just goes out right now, it would stop, right? The power source, I'm still connected to it, but the power isn't coming through it. But as soon as the electricity comes back on, we pick up like we never left. It's like, hello. Oh my goodness. My computer turns, the thing turns green or yellow again, and it's charging back up and it's picking up exactly where it left off. There is no break. So I want you guys to understand that you are always connected, even when, and even if you're looking up and it's April and you're sitting there saying, man, I done set some goals. I've been praying for some stuff. And I kind of stepped off the faith boat. I stepped off. I was drowning for a second, but I'm ready to get back on. I need you to understand that when you get back on, there is no shame. There is no condemnation. Don't get back on and be like, oh man, I'm so sorry that I did that, Lord. Oh my goodness. I don't even deserve, and we're gonna get into this deserve thing. I don't even deserve to be here, man. Don't get back on the boat. If you're gonna do that, stay off the boat. Just continue swimming until you get enough strength and courage to get back on and say, okay, I own this. I deserve to be here. You stop the boat because I am special, because I am unique, and you created me for great and magnificent things. So I'm going to step back on this boat and I am going to full throttle this thing. Okay. And I'm going to let you, of course, drive it. I'm going to look, but I'm going to gas it up for you. I'm going to do all the things that I need to do. I am here. I am here and being available. Use me, and I'm going to come in that thing with confidence. That's how I want y'all to step back on the boat, and knowing that you never lost your connection. It doesn't matter what you've done. It doesn't matter what you haven't done, right? It doesn't matter how you are feeling. It doesn't matter what things are looking like. You are always connected. We are souls, we are spirits. Our spirit, our souls, we are connected. We are born connected. You see this in evidence of my daughter. My son, my little baby. Like, you've seen it where kids are like sleep and then they just start smiling. And you just know that it's just like a peace that is over them, and that they're just connected in a way that sometimes we are not, or we don't feel like we are. But we have that same connection. I saw a video the other day, and it was about, it was a little sad video though, but this little girl, I think she might have been like 2, her mom passed, and they came out to the gravesite, and you could see her. She was looking up in the air, and she was just laughing and joking, and she's playing around, but she was focused on something, right? And then she says at the end of it, she's like, "Bye, mommy," and she goes, kisses the air. Hi, man. First of all, that just drove me. Oh my goodness, I've become very emotional since I've had kids, so I was just crying. But the thing is that connection that she has, that just opened my eyes even further, that we have that. The things that they're able to do, these things, they're able to see those things, they're able to just be, because they are children, because they don't have the same programming that we are operating off of. They haven't been told yet that they can't do something. They haven't been, exposed to the different things that we've been exposed to, that has now quieted our minds from believing that we are limitless. They come out, they're believing that they're limitless. There's nothing that they can't do. They're just open. And this is why we are told to be like children. This is all up in the Bible. This is why we are referred to that. Yes, God is our Father, but that's not just the reason. That's not just it. We are supposed to be. This is why I said merging the fun into what it is that you are doing, and making sure that you, just like I was told, are prioritizing enjoyment and honoring yourself, because in honoring yourself, you're honoring God. And then in honoring yourself and honoring God, you're also honoring the people who are looking to you and are looking up to you and are using you as an example of what they're capable of. So you are hitting all three of those boxes by turning inward and saying, you know what, I think I need this. And that's what I'm going to give myself. You know what, I'm going to let go of this. I'm going to stop pressing. I'm going to rely on God. I'm going to give myself a break. This is what we do, and this is what we are here for. And I want you guys to know, like, if I could just grab you right now, I'll just let you know, what? Have you forgotten? You are so powerful. There is nothing, when I say nothing off limits to you, there is nothing off limits to you. And this, by your faith, you are healed. We've got to understand, this is said multiple times in the Bible with Jesus, right? When he was doing his healing work. And specifically, I have two situations. And we have the woman with the issue of blood, right? And so that is found in both of these that I'm going to reference. They are both found in Matthew and Mark. But I want you to go to Mark 28. So this is the woman with the issue of blood. So we're going to go to Mark. I'm sorry, I didn't have it pulled up. But we good. We still going to work it out. All right, so 5:28. Here we go. Where's the 28? Okay. Actually, I want to start at 27 because it's kind of in the middle. So we're going to start at the beginning of the verse. So 27 in the beginning of the sentence. That's what I meant. When she heard about Jesus, she came up behind him in the crowd and touched his cloak, because she thought, if I just touch his clothes, I will be healed. Immediately, her bleeding stopped, and she felt in her body that she was freed from her suffering. At once, Jesus realized that power had gone out from him. He turned around in the crowd and asked, "Who touched my clothes?" You see the people crowding. People crowding against you. Like, you see all these people, right? Like, those are the disciples. That's how they be acting. That's how they've been acting. And yet you ask, "Who touched me?" But Jesus kept looking around to see who had done it. Then the woman, knowing what had happened to her, came and fell at his feet, trembling with fear, and told him the whole truth. He said to her, "Daughter, your faith has healed you. Go in peace and be freed from your suffering." What did he say? I want us to go back to that. Your faith has healed you. He did not say that I healed you. He did not say that, look, I'm so powerful. Can't nobody do it like I can. And I just did this and you were healed. So if something else goes wrong, come back to me because I am the only one that can heal you. He specifically breathed life into her and said, honey, I did nothing. You did it. It was your faith that did it. So if you come back and there's something else that is wrong, understand that you hold that power. I do not have to be here for you to heal yourself, for you to be able to break free of the chains that are holding you back, for you to be able to pick through your thoughts and say, no, that doesn't agree with me, so I'm not going to take it. For you to sit there and undo the programming that you're operating out of. You do not need me to be here and physically lay hands on you or for you to touch my cloak for that to happen. You hold the power. And this is what I'm saying to you guys. It is your faith. It is your belief. It is your connection. That is what is going to do this. There is nothing that you can't do. You are legit limitless. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. You are connected. You are already connected. You got the thing that you need. You got the thing that you need. So why are you contemplating whether you can do this? Why are you thinking and doubting whether you're going to make it, whether you are going to accomplish these goals, whether this can happen for you, whether you're in the right position, whether that job that you got appointed to, whether it's something that you actually deserve to be in. You deserve it. So I told you we're going to highlight about this deserve thing, right? Because I was talking to my husband and I was saying, why do we say that? Why do we get into places? Why do we get the spouse? Why do we get the job that it is that we want? And yet when we get there, we're like, man, I didn't deserve that. I do not deserve this. I don't deserve this. I'm like, why are we saying this? And he made a good point. He's like, well, it's because, we're feeling like we don't. It's so many things that we've done. It's so many things that, it's other things like we sin, we make mistakes, we do all this stuff. And we just feel like, wow, like I don't deserve it because I'm not entitled to this. Like, this is just by grace, which it is by grace. But then my thing, like when I hear that, my immediate response is, and that's what I think, and that's what I was thinking, is that you wouldn't have gotten it if you didn't deserve it. So why are you saying that? So we had that conversation, right? And so, we stopped. But the other, it was like a couple days after that, my daughter was going through it. My oldest daughter was going through it. So Peyton, honey, I'm telling you, we just get hit. Like if it's not the 9-month-old, then it's the 3-year-old, our boy Caleb, and then if it's not him, then it's Peyton, and sometimes it's all together, and we just be like, Lord, what in the world is going on right now? Everybody needs a nap. Everybody, including us, we all need a nap because we need to wake up again and do this over. So she was just going through it. She was up, down, and she was just going through it. And she had asked for lemonade. And but before she started like doing whatever, she had wanted lemonade. She had been asking for it, so we ended up giving it to her, and she was just like having a complete meltdown, and things just were not just going right. So she ended up taking her lemonade, and she was like, "I don't deserve it. I don't deserve it." And you could tell in her eyes, right, because she was walking back and just looking at it when she left it, and you could tell that she wanted it. But she was giving it back and she's saying she doesn't deserve it. And the thing that came out of my husband's mouth, and I had to stop him in his tracks because he looked down at her and he said, if you didn't deserve it, we wouldn't have gave it to you. And I said, oh, stop right there. And he was like, what? I was like, what did you just say? He was like, well, if you don't. Yeah. And I was like, that's what I mean. This is what it is. Like, even as parents, you're like, look, I'm not going to give you anything that you don't deserve. So what you saying that for? Like, you do deserve it. Stop saying that. And yet we do that. We do that. That's why I said, don't be getting back on this boat where you're sitting there all shameful and stuff. Oh, I shouldn't even be here, man. Oh my goodness. Like, oh, I can't believe you. You are wasting time and energy. Like, get back on the boat. He is right there. You deserve the position that you are in. You were elected to that position because you deserve it. You have that money because you deserve it. You have that house because you deserve it. You have that spouse because you deserve it. You have those kids because you deserve it. Like everything that you have because you do deserve it. So you have to step into the fact and step into who God actually created you to be. You are a person who is deserving of every good and perfect thing on this earth, because that is what God has for you. That is what he wants to give you. So we've got to stop putting ourselves in a box and saying, oh, well, I've done so many things, man. I don't know. I don't know if this is going to happen. That is not how he thinks. That is not what when God looks at you, he doesn't see your past. He doesn't see the things that you've done. He doesn't see the mistakes that you've made. He sees this perfect soul who he's created and your potential. He's like, yo, if you could only put my eyes on and see you through my lens, you would be amazed. You would never sit there and say that you don't deserve anything. You wouldn't ever feel shameful. You are perfect just the way that you are, honey. Just believe in me. Believe in who I created you to be. Become that person. Be on a consistent journey to become that person, because I got so much plans for you, and it's big. It is beautiful, but you have to be the person who feels like they deserve that, because when you feel like you deserve that, that's why I said get back on that boat with that confidence. Like, I am supposed to be here. God waited for me in that boat because he knew, look, I'm not trying to go without you. You are a necessary piece. I want you. This is your spot. So come on, get back on there. So I want you to get back on like this is your spot. You've got to carry yourself the way that God sees you. And so if you have to read the Bible and see what God is is referring to you as, and how he sees you, or if you have to write those I am statements of where you in the mirror and you telling yourself before you wake up, or you telling yourself when you're brushing your teeth, or you're telling yourself before you go to bed, whatever it may be, that you are powerful, affirming to yourself that you are a creator, that you are co-creating with God. There is nothing that you can't do. You are limitless. If you have to sit there and tell yourself that 1,000 times a day, tell yourself that 1,000 times a day. Whatever it is to restore that power and restore that confidence, I need you to do it, because there are things, there is so much, like I'm starting to see out of that lens. And when I look at people, I don't see them, I see potential. That's what I see. And it's been that way since I was a little kid. And then as I grew up, as I got older, it started to diminish. So like I said, we are born connected, and we are born with those innate abilities of where we see past everything, the physical, the color, the religion. Honey, we don't even know about that when we're young. We're just like, oh, this person's a nice person. And you can tell. Like children have this innate ability, just like animals do. Like dogs have that too. But children have this innate ability to be able to decipher whether this person is good, whether this person has ill intentions, or whether this person is, like what's going on. And you'll see sometimes they just standoffish and you don't even know. You're like, oh, come on, talk to this person. And they're like, no, I don't want to. But they have that intuition that you are born with. You still have it, but you haven't exercised it in a long time. So just like, how it is when we go to the gym, if you've been off for a little while, kind of your muscles and everything, like, I mean, look at well, you can't see it because I got this, but you see, like before, when I was in my tight and right 20s, right, you couldn't do this and it wasn't shaking. But this is what happens, is that if you aren't consistently exercising those muscles, and you get a little saggy. It is what it is. We just human bodies. It is what it is. But the thing is, And this is what we've got to understand, even when it pertains to our physical bodies. Yes, it happens because they haven't been worked. But know that you can always get back in the gym and tighten those things up. That's how it works. You can always do that. But knowing that when you hit the gym, you haven't been there for a little while. So it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. But the more you strengthen that muscle, the easier it is for you to get back in. And now you can put some more weight on there. And then now you're pushing yourself to your limits. And it's like, whoa, man, I'm getting stronger. I'm getting stronger. I'm seeing cuts. I'm a little less flabby. I'm doing well in here. That's how it is with our intuition and the innate gifts that we were already given. These things that we are looking to other people, and I say this, I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. Jesus always pointed back to you, to your faith, and he always pointed to God. So it was like, oh, no. Don't think it was me. Honey, it came from God. Like, look past me and go to God. And don't focus on what I did. I am just here to show you what you are capable of. This is why he always said, look, your faith has healed you. Look, it's because you lack faith. Oh, ye of little faith. This is why he kept saying that, is because he wanted to restore the power. He wanted to remind people of how powerful they are. What I am doing, and what Jesus, I'm saying I as Jesus, what Jesus was doing is that I'm being the example of what you are capable of. So when we are born with these innate gifts, yes, you may not have been using them. Okay, so understand that it needs to be strengthened. We need to start leaning into it. That's why I say lean into the intuition. Start leaning into play, into fun, and allowing yourself to let go. But this is how you're strengthening that faith muscle. That's how you're strengthening your intuition. That's how you're strengthening that discernment muscle. This is what you are doing, but understand that you were born with this. This is innate to you. You are a healer. These are all things that are afforded to you. This is what it is. Like, this is what you're capable of. This is when we're reading about Jesus. Understand, this is why I say, and you will continue to hear me say this, I want to become more like Jesus. I want to be like Jesus, not become more. I want to be like Jesus. That's how I want to carry myself. He was the example. I want to be that. I want to do what he did. I want to, like, that's it. That's it. But I want you to know that even when you're reading this Bible, don't think that this man, that Jesus is so far away from you. Jesus is you. You can do the same things, but it is your faith. It is your connection. You've got to believe it. You've got to exercise those gifts. They've never left you. They're still there. They're just a little dormant. So you got to wake it up. Wake up. So when you come into a room and it's dark, the electricity is still pumping through it. All you got to do is just flip on the switch. Boom, bam. It's here. So that stuff is still going through you. It's still moving through you. You still have access to it. It is still there. It is just dormant. It needs to be woken up. So wake it up. Wake it up. Restore the power. And so I am going to leave it at that. The second thing that I was going to reference, and you guys can go and look that up because my time is almost up. But it's Matthew 17:14 through 23. And that is where it was a demon-possessed son, right? So it was a little boy. The disciples had tried to free him of the demon. It did not work. And then they come, they get Jesus, and Jesus is like, oh, look, okay, I'm going to do it. So he does it. It's just like, ooh, it's just instant. And they're like, how come we couldn't do it? And that's the same thing that he said. He puts it back on faith. He did not say, because you can't, because you're not capable, because you're not powerful enough, because you're not me. He didn't say any of that. He said, because you lack faith. That's it. It's as simple as that. So upgrade your faith. And I'm going to put this, yes, wow, our faith has to increase. It must. It must. We've got to understand. That's why I'm like, step back on that boat and understand how powerful you are. We might have, it's April. It's April. We might have fallen off the boat. It's cool. It is okay. But get back on and get back on that thing with power. With power. This is what I want y'all to take from that. Understand how powerful you are and run with it and walk in it. Walk in it. So I'm gonna end like that. And this is what we're going to do. It was great kicking it with y'all. And I hope that you have an amazing, blessed, great day. Like, there's so much for you to be grateful for. There's so much that is happening behind the scenes that you don't even know that's happening. Be grateful for that. Be grateful for the way that things are being arranged, that you don't even know what's happening. You can't see what's happening. Be grateful for your situation, no matter what it looks like. And remain in today. Remain in today. Don't look back at yesterday. Don't look at tomorrow, next week, next month, next year. We're not worried about all that. You got exactly what you need for today. So live in that. Step into it with confidence. Honey, it's 7:01. It's still early. Look, if you're driving to work, walk in that thing. Walk in your place of employment and act like you just, look, I deserve to be here, honey. And I'm going to tear it up today. If you walking in there and you are the CEO, honey, I am going to tear it up today. I don't care what you're doing. You're going to tear it up today. If you walking in and you saying, okay, look, I'm giving my, because I'm going to be teaching my kids today. What I'm going to walk in, I deserve to be here and I own the place. Honey, we're going to have fun. We're going to have fun, but we're going to get some work done. And we are going to find out how to merge the two, because it's so much to be enjoyed here. And we can take advantage of it if we want to. It's available to us. Things don't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be painful. I know that you had said, the pain though. But understand, we've got greater things that are coming. We have greater things to look forward to. So even when you're in the gym, if you continue to look at the person that you are being molded into, that you are molding yourself into, the person that is going to come from this, it gets a little less painful. It's like, look, this is what I'm holding in my mind. Like every squat that I'm doing, every bit of pain that I'm feeling, I know that I'm getting closer to where it is that I'm supposed to be. I know I'm getting closer to my goal. So this is how we've got to start looking at pain. And if we look at pain as pleasure, as enjoyment, as things that are bringing us, it's only happening for our good. It will make us a little less weary stepping into situations that make us uncomfortable, stepping into situations that feel a little, I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I can do. You'll start leaning into that, because the more pain I am feeling, quote unquote, the more pain I'm feeling, the better I'm becoming. I'm going in the right direction. So let me lean into that. Let me get more of that. And speaking of, I'm going in on this. Last night, right? So I have realized that I've become comfortable speaking here, right? Because I know y'all my family, y'all my people, right? And so I'm comfortable speaking here. It's comfortable for me. And so last night I was talking, but I could see everybody's face, right? And that kind of threw me off at first. It was just like, uh-oh. Because you see different people, they're like this. They're like this. They're like, and you just see, and they just change throughout. And you're just like, oh, did I say something? Did I, whatever? And I felt a little bit of nervousness come up. And I was like, well, ooh, And then it ended up like, I just kept saying, like, get out of the way. Because I could feel myself like looking at them and just like, are they liking this? Are they not? I'm like, who cares? Stop. move out the way. Christina, get out the way. You done came back in, get out the way. Just allow yourself to be used. That is the only reason why you're here. So I was able to get out the way. And after that, it just flowed, right? But I realized there that, ooh, that was a bit uncomfortable for me. So what am I doing now? I am asking for more of it. I'm like, okay, Lord, I have become pretty comfortable where I am. I need to step it up. I need to have more things where I am talking directly in front of people. I can see their faces, whether it be in person, whether it be on the computer or virtual, but I need to be seeing their faces. I want to put myself into the most uncomfortable positions that I can, because what do I know? Although it may be painful going through it, I know that it's only strengthening me. I am going to come out refined. So I want you guys to do the same thing. Pick up on the things that you are feeling uncomfortable about doing, the things that you doubt, the things that you're worrying about, and step into those. Step into those and say, okay, well, you know what? This is making me feel uncomfortable. I want more of it. Lord, give me more. Give me more. I don't care if it's painful. Give me more. I know it's best for me. Give me more. And open yourself up for that. And I promise you, you will be amazed at what happens if you only just step out on faith and understand that you can do all things. So bring on the tough, bring on the hard, bring on the painful. You can do it. I tell my daughter this all the time because she gets frustrated when we do work and she gets things wrong. And I'm just telling her, she's like, oh, this isn't easy. Honey, you don't get better by easy. You get better by hard. And you were made to do hard things. We want hard things. We want the difficult. We want that because we become better. So now she's like, before we start learning, she's like, I can do hard things. That's what I want you to tell yourself. I can do hard things. This is how I was created. I am created firm. I am created strong. There's nothing that I can't do. I was created to do hard things, and I can do hard things. And I become better from doing it. So bring on the pain, bring on the uncomfortableness, bring on everything that makes me a little queasy. I don't care. Bring it on. I want more of it. 10 times it. This is what I want y'all to do. That's what I want y'all to do. This is what I'm talking about. Get that confidence, y'all. All right. So I'm ending there. I'm ending there. Have a good, great, amazing day. And I want to end this right there. We can do all things through Christ. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. So have a faithful filled day. Yes, keeping that and be mindful. Be mindful. Keep that at the forefront, especially when things come to distract you. Just like I said, nothing can penetrate what's protected. You are protected. Your direct line is protected, but you can penetrate it. You can open up that door. And once you start feeding into the negativity, once you start feeding into the things that aren't pulling you up, but they're pulling you down, you are making it porous. And they can just open. It starts to open and pry through those things. So we ain't trying to do that. We are not breaking what is protected. And we're protected. So we're going to go in today feeling that, knowing that, and we're going to step in with confidence. So y'all, I will see you. I'm saying that I'm going to see you guys next Wednesday, but I'm going to get to the place by Monday. I'm going to get to Florida by Monday, right? And I'm going to check it out and make sure that the internet is good, everything's good, and I can do this thing. So I'll probably do a test run just to see how the connection is. And if the connection is fine, honey, we're going to be on Wednesday, okay? We ain't missing a beat. So I am faithful that it's going to be fine. And we aren't going to miss a beat. We ain't going to miss a week. We're going to be there. So I'm going to see y'all Wednesday. All right. I'm going to see y'all next Wednesday. But I'll be in Florida. Yeah, I might have a tan too. Hopefully. I might have a little glow. So don't mind that. Just look past me. But I'm going to see y'all Wednesday. All right. Talk to y'all later. Bye.